Have you heard of Cancel Korea?
Yeah, I think I have read a few comments on our YouTube channel, but could you explain it once again, briefly?
Okay. Cancel Korea is an anti-Korea movement in the Philippines responding to racial discriminations of Korean netizens' behaviors towards Filipinos. It started from a Filipino influencer for posting social media with a tattoo that symbolizes Japanese imperialism, which many Koreans are traumatized of. The reason Korean got offended in the first place. But even after she made a sincere apology regarding her behavior, some Korean netizens kept on bashing Filipinos as a whole, so it now became a trend voicing up for hashtag Cancel Korea.
Wow, I'd like to apologize first for those Filipinos who were hurt from this issue. And I think there are some Koreans who would react very sensitively to this topic, the symbol. Because since we were a kid, we were taught in schools that this symbol represents Japanese colonization on Korea. The time when many of Koreans were mistreated by the Japanese invaders. Of course, I'm a Korean myself, and I would also feel offended if I see this symbol in public. So I can also relate to those Koreans. Why would they have such an anger,
I would also understand criticizing on a specific mistake itself.
Yeah, should be focusing on the mistake itself.
And delivering information of something that we didn't know. But I think in this case, it became an issue because Korean netizens are targeting the whole Filipino with harsh verbal expressions implying racial discrimination. And that's when the issue became more viral.
What did they say? What did the netizens say about the Filipinos?
They said that we, Filipinos, are short, ugly, and uneducated.
That's really I mean, why would you listen to some kind of you know what I mean? These people who are commenting on this kind of do not represent the rest of Koreans. And then the way they bash it's totally off topic, you know what I mean? The point is, Korean netizens wants to tell foreigners that this symbol offends specific people, especially Koreans. And we are, as a Koreans, we are asking a favor to not to use this symbol in public. You know what I mean? And personally, I also support this, the how to say idea too. I mean, as a Korean myself too, you know what I mean? But attacking on this kind of racial discrimination is totally irrelevant. I think they are the one who's uneducated for focusing on something that is totally off the topic.
So, do Koreans really think Filipinos are ugly and uneducated? What do you think about this?
No, not at all, Erica. No, of course not. That's very hasty generalization. How can you generalize a group of people? Every individual is different. That is very, very dangerous. Look at my, magandang Filipino wife. She is maganda and she is smart. I don't understand. And I bet many of Koreans would not know or not aware that Philippines is one of the country that has the most, Miss Universe title. I think you should be proud of that. Yeah. Why would you listen to some kind of And what I think is that Filipinos should not react to this nonsense. If you react to this, you are being played by, insane people. There is no point. It's not worth responding to people who are not on their right mind. And Erica, you've been living in Korea for how many years now? 10 years, right? As a Filipina.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced racial discrimination? I want you to tell really truthfully.
Well, I haven't really felt any racism, but I can tell there are preconceptions. For example, while I was a university student in Korea, many people assume that I am an immigrant woman married to a Korean man without a doubt.
No.
I mean, That's okay. I am now married to a Korean.
But like when you were a student, when you were a student.
Yes, when I was a student. Seemed like they don't expect an overseas student from the Philippines. You know, it's like if you are a Filipino woman in Korea, then you must be here for marriage. But it didn't come close to where I felt it was a racism. Most of the time I received a warm welcome from Koreans, of course.
I totally agree with you, Erica. You know, like preconceptions and like racial discrimination based on hatred are totally different.
True.
Yeah. Preconceptions are everywhere. Even in the Philippines, you know, like there are preconceptions towards Koreans in the Philippines too. Like Koreans like to do, you know, plastic surgery.
True.
Yeah, even like whenever I go to Philippines, like many of my Filipino friends ask me if I had plastic surgery or not, you know, like, and it's something that I have to live with, you know what I mean? Like as for being Korean. And also the reason why we started our YouTube channel is to change these preconceptions towards, you know, like Filipino and Korean international marriage. But the one some Korean netizens showed towards these Filipinos is totally racial discrimination based on hatred, which should not be tolerated in any society. And I am strongly against them.
Yeah, there will always be extreme people in every society.
Yeah, I just hope that the friendship between among two countries that's been more than 70 years, you know, and with the history of helping each other out when there was hard time, like during Korean War, and whenever there is a natural disaster like typhoon, would not fall apart because of these stupid people on the internet. And I believe we are stronger than that.